And there's a town that FEMA turned down called Ocean Grove, New Jersey. Superstorm Sandy wreaked havoc in Ocean Grove, New Jersey, but was still spared the worst. So despite everything, the residents of Ocean Grove counted themselves lucky until they had to deal with the federal government. FEMA refused Ocean Grove rebuilding funds. In one sense, this denial is part of the Obama administration's quiet campaign against religion in the public square. A Methodist preacher named William Osborne assembled a small group of pastors from around Philadelphia to buy a piece of land at the shore in central New Jersey on July 31st, 1869. They christened their 1 square mile of paradise Ocean Grove. So at first, it was just a campsite. The preachers and their flocks pitched tents during the summer in order to get away from the bustle of the city. And in 1870, the New Jersey State Legislature granted the Camp Meeting Association a charter, giving them the power to hold and maintain their property, establish infrastructure, and even create a police force, all in the name of setting their land aside for the perpetual worship of Jesus Christ. What happened in 2013? The issue of gay marriage. The Camp Meeting Association's religious convictions just didn't line up with supporting it, and you can read more about it on the Infowars.com website. Now, the EPA wants in your backyard. So is it an EPA power grab? Well, the draft rules sent to the White House for review could expand the EPA's regulatory power to give the agency unprecedented new authority over seasonal streams and ditches on private property. That from Representative Lamar Smith, Republican from Texas. He's the chairman of the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee. And that's what several Republican lawmakers and even state farming groups and local governments are warning about, that after a draft rule from the EPA proposing expanding what waterways are federally protected under the Clean Water Act, the concern is that the draft rule could give authority to our bloated government to declare jurisdiction over water on your property. And I can tell you that that is not congruent with the way that the water system is run in Texas. That's going to be an interesting battle. And stick around till after the break, because we have a very interesting interview, a bit of a role reversal of sorts. When Alex Jones was doing his show live from Dealey Plaza and doing a march, the LA Times caught up with him.
This is a conspiracy by the technocrats, by the ruling elite, by the eugenicists that want to dumb us down. This is the iodine conspiracy. Our government wasn't always a eugenicist-based predatory group. Back in the 1920s, the federal government pressured salt manufacturers and bread producers to add iodine because they knew that iodine deficiencies were causing massive decreases in IQ, birth defects, and it was a health crisis all across the United States and in Europe as well. In the decade after iodine was added to staple foods, there was a 15-point increase in IQs in the areas that had previously been deficient. So what did the federal government do a couple decades later? They took the good halogen iodine out and added another bad one, bromine. And they put the worst of the group, fluoride and fluorine derivatives, in our water supply and began using it as a pesticide on the crops. Let's be clear about this. Adding bromine to the food supply is banned in the EU, banned in Canada, and banned in many other nations because it is a toxic poison listed in those countries. I've done deep research on the globalist program to dumb down the population to make us more manageable. It is eugenics. And I personally take the highest quality form of unbound iodine, nascent iodine, in a kosher certified, non-GMO certified glycerin base. I've interviewed the experts, people like Dr. Brownstein and pharmacist Ben Fuchs, and of course, Dr. Edward Group. And across the board, the consensus is iodine is the missing piece of the puzzle. And not just iodine, but high quality, unbound, pure iodine. Bottom line, This is something on record our bodies need. I've gone out and found the best source for myself and my family. I hope you'll visit InfoWarsLife.com and get our InfoWars Life Survival Shield. It really does incredible things, and we've gotten nothing but positive reviews from our listeners. And this also helps support our news operation and the info war while we get the iodine we need and block the fluoride and the other members of the halogen that are so bad for our bodies. Check out the information. Do the research for yourself. Talk to your physician and then decide whether you want to drink fluoridated water that Harvard, major studies admits, is giving people brain cancer and bone cancer and lowering their IQ, or whether you want to find a high quality source of iodine. Consult your physician, do your research, and make a decision. But whatever you do, don't just ignore this message, because all of my research shows this is absolutely key to getting people out of the brain fog that they've been artificially put into by the social engineers. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today.